Hey guys, this is Eddie's Reptiles, and today we are bringing you the top 3 beginner pets that you should not buy at a pet store. And let's just quickly preface, if that pet store has poor husbandry for their reptiles, don't shop there at all. But there are some good pet stores, and even good pet stores have these 3 pets that you shouldn't buy. Number 3, we have the bearded dragon. This might come as a surprise to some of you because bearded dragons, well, they're fantastic, right? They're one of the most popular reptiles that people own. And the reason I'm telling you not to buy the bearded dragon is not because I have anything against bearded dragons. They make awesome pets. But you need to do your research on proper care for bearded dragons before you get one. I feel like they are predominantly an impulse buy, or they're being bought from beginner reptile keepers who don't know anything about them. I don't think I have to push this point too hard because if you are a part of any reptile community, you know that bearded dragons are one of the most rehomed pets. They flood rescues and sanctuaries, constantly see pictures of bearded dragons with MBD or malnourished, and they're like the staple of improper care pictures online. So if you do want a bearded dragon, please do your research. Make sure that you have the proper UVB, you have the proper basking. Research their diets and then research their enclosures as well and what you need in that enclosure. A bearded dragon isn't going to stay a baby forever, and you're not going to be able to keep it in that 40-gallon tank forever. As opposed to probably what you'll hear from other keepers, they should be in a 4x2x2 when they're an adult. And a 4x2x2 is a big enclosure. That's a big chunk of space in your house that's going to be taken up. And never stop learning. There's always something new to learn about your pet reptiles. Continue to learn, continue watching videos, continue reading about their natural habitat. Number 2, we actually have one of my favorite reptiles, the blue-tongued skink. I will say that I am talking about a specific blue-tongued skink. And a lot of pet stores really don't know the difference, and they have them mislabeled, or they just don't know the localities. And more often than not, when you go to a pet store and there's a blue-tongued skink available, it is an Indonesian. And the reason you should avoid Indonesian blue-tongued skinks at a pet store is because they are most likely wild caught. There are very few breeders out there that actually breed Indonesian blue-tongued skinks. So I can almost assure you a pet store that has an Indonesian, it's going to be a wild caught, which comes with the issues of parasites both internally and externally. And although they might have it labeled as a northern, that doesn't make it a northern. And the care requirements are significantly different. So I would put a northern blue-tongued skink in the beginner category, but I would not put an Indonesian blue-tongued skink in the beginner category. They do require more humidity, and they are a little bit spicier than a northern. So if you are a beginner and you are looking for a blue tongue, make sure you check out some reputable breeders, get a good captive bred, and definitely go the northern route if you are a new reptile owner. And this brings us to number 1, which is the green iguana. And it does blow my mind still that anybody would even think that this is a beginner's pet. Absolutely in no world is a beginner's pet. But I often see in pet stores, they're generally front and center, and they'll sell them to absolutely anyone, and they are extremely cheap. And those factors make it attractive for beginning reptile owners. Not to mention, they're freaking adorable. Now, I will say that iguanas can be some of the most rewarding pets that you'll ever own. But that's a far stretch from being a beginner pet. Not only are they primarily probably wild caught in the pet store that you're looking in, but when they're adults, they're going to need a 6-foot-high enclosure that's nearly 12 feet long, if not more. That's probably something you might not hear from the pet store employee when they're selling you this green iguana. Aside from the enclosure size, their requirements for care are pretty strict as well, and spend time with in order for you to create trust between one another before it gets 5 feet long. And if you have a 5-foot lizard in your house that has no trust for you, it's probably going to lead to a bad situation. And those were the 3 beginner pets that I don't think you should buy at a pet store. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one.